Welcome to the Archers Roundup as we look back at all news surrounding Cardiff Met sport. First to the football, Cardiff Met Uni advanced to the final in the final MG Cup following a 3-2 win over Barrytown United. Goals from Adam Roscoe, Emily Lewis and Elliot Evans were the difference as Met have reached the final of the competition they won in 2019 against Cambrian and Clydach Vale. They will play Connah's Quay Nomads in the final, with this season being the last for Christian Edwards as he will be leaving the club after 13 years.
I think it's been very important that we got to the final, not just because it's my last season. It shows that yet again we've been competitive in the Welsh Premier or the Cymru Premier League. The February the 6th will be our sixth final in 6 years in the Welsh Premier League, and I think that's important. As I say, it shows that each year we've been in the league, we've been competitive in the league. We've also been competitive in the cups, and I think that's really important for our group of players. 6 finals in 6 years. I'm sure there's a lot of teams would bite our arms off for that.
The women's side also enjoyed success over the weekend as they won 4-0 against Pontypridd Town Women in the Gennaro Adran Premier. Emily Allen, Lauren Hutton-Townsend, Jessie Taylor and Olivia Thompson were on the scoreboard. Cardiff Met Women host Barrytown Ladies this weekend as the team prepare for the 12th game of the season, with Liv Thompson discussing that the team take each game as it comes.
I think we put together a really solid performance against Ponty, and that's something that we can definitely build on moving forward following the game against Swansea, and I think we just got to keep building forward, moving on into the league. But I don't think we should be complacent going into the game. I think we have to take it one game at a time, be very focused on our task and focusing on what we're doing as a team and not worry about other people's results, just ourselves.
Former Archers Sophie Ingle and Natasha Harding featured in a 2-0 defeat against France, as well as have their World Cup hopes dashed. Gemma Grater's side nearly caused a shock draw as Jess Fishlock hit the post in the last stages as France counter-attacked and scored following the missed chance. Onto the rugby, the Archers Ones lost to Durham in the Bucks Super League as they lost 30 points to 19. Danny Milton's side were trailing 13 points to 6 as the Archers controlled most of the first half. Onto the cricket, the Cardiff Met cricket squad raised over £1,000 for November with a cycle-a-thon, as the whole squad managed to cycle over 1.4 million metres. Ollie Horn was one of the participants in the bid to raise money for men's health, as he spoke about his experience and importance of doing a cycle ride.
Participating in the cyclothon was a great experience for all the lads, and it was one of them that showed what a real team effort it is, because it was a hell of a long distance to do as a team, and the fact that we managed to complete it was very satisfying. We were mostly aiming to do about 15 kilometres per half an hour slot, so it was actually quite tough, but you were doing it with your mates and your teammates because there was always another 3 on the bikes with you at the same time, so you could keep pushing each other along and motivating each other to do well. And it was all for a great cause, obviously, Men's Mental Health November, so it was a really successful thing to be a part of, and I think we raised just short of £1,000, which I think it's pretty impressive for a uni cricket side and shows what a great team morale we have.
On to the hockey. It was a dreadful day for the ones, for the men's and the women's. The men's lost 3-1 away to Birmingham and the women's lost heavily at home to Loughborough as they conceded 10 goals in the process. All the remaining teams all won as the women's 2s won against Royal Agricultural 1s 3-2 and women's 3s winning 1-0 against Swansea women's 3s. Men's 2s won against Cardiff Uni 3s 3-1 as the women's 4s won 2-0 over Bath Spa women's 1s. We caught up with Bucks 4s player Louise Shepherd following the win.
The game was pretty equal to begin with, and then we started staying up in their attacking quarter, which was great. We got our first goal, and that really boosted everyone's confidence.
On to the basketball as men's 1s lost by 6 points as they were defeated by Silent men's 2s. Cleve Claiborne earned the most points for the Archers as he scored 17 points. The women's 1s continued their fine form as they emphatically beat Hertfordshire women's 1s by 111 points to 27. Angelina Marazzi and Shannon Hatch fired home 33 points each. Finally, on to the athletics. Former Cardiff Met students Jenny Nesbitt and Joe Bryer were granted funding from Welsh Athletics. Jenny Nesbitt represented Wales at the 2018 Commonwealth Games in Queensland, Australia. Earlier this year, Joe Brower won bronze for the Team GB for the 4x400 metre team at the European Indoor Championships in March. That is the sport news, as I'm sending you back to Attica Speed in the studio.